Today we're diving into one of the hottest topics in the world of weight loss, 6 meals a day or intermittent fasting. I'm so excited about this video because I was very disappointed by the information I found online on these two, to be honest with you guys. It just didn't seem like they were considering the uniqueness of each individual, body type, and journey. So I wanted to just set the record straight with this video for you guys and clarify the facts and discuss the pros and cons with you guys between various diets based on the individual's specific eating habits, rather than just sharing my general opinion. I think there are 4 main types of people who want to lose weight, and let me know in the comments which category you fall into. It's really important for me to know which category you are in so I can actually direct my future videos towards you guys, right? First, we have the rarely hungry crew, and then people that are always hungry and snacking and eating, which includes a lot of people like myself who have ADHD as well. And then we have people that are never hungry, but they're always snacking. And then we have the people that are rarely hungry, but when they do, they eat a lot. So grab your healthy favorite snack, get comfy, comment below which one of these groups you are. Again, don't forget that, and let's get started. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Seppi and I'm passionate about health, nutrition, weight loss, and living with ADHD. As someone who's personally lost over 50 pounds and understands the challenges of living with ADHD, I'm excited to share my experiences, knowledge, and tips with you guys to help you on your own health journey. My videos are all about providing practical, evidence-based information and strategies that you can implement into your daily life to improve your health, optimize your nutrition, manage your weight, and thrive with ADHD. If you're wondering which one of these diets work, the 6 meals or intermittent fasting, they both work. The truth that the 6 meals per day or the intermittent fasting are both very effective methods. If they weren't, this many people wouldn't be talking about them. They work. It doesn't matter what category you fall into of the groups that I mentioned. If you are remaining in caloric deficit and you're sticking to your routine for about 6 to 8 weeks, you will notice a change. And for 16 weeks, if you're sticking with it, you will notice a full transformation. By the way, most of you guys are familiar with the concept of caloric deficit, but if you're not, it basically means that you should be eating less than what your body is burning every day. So your body is forced to dig into the stored fat and the glycogen to provide you with energy, which results in weight loss. There is a little bit of a calculation that goes into it, but that basically is the basic concept of it. So if it doesn't matter what method you're going to use to lose weight, why should you bother to watch the rest of the video? Number one, you want to find out what method will work faster for you and your metabolism. And number two is that you want to find out what the advantages and the disadvantages of each method is so you can actually make a better and more informed decision. Let's talk about which one will boost your metabolism more. If you have a lot of weight to lose, you probably have slowed down your metabolism by becoming less active or eating high volumes of food at one sitting. It's really important to know that despite some of the articles that you might find online, 6 meals a day will boost your metabolism and fasting will slow it down. Some people might actually try to tell you that this is a myth, but give me a second to explain this. A person with higher metabolism is able to eat more without gaining body fat. They can be sitting at rest and they will be burning more calories compared to someone who has a slower metabolism. Now, your body is a very smart machine and it's designed to make sure that you have enough energy for your daily activities. So why do I recommend the 6 meals a day if you have a slow metabolism and you want to boost your metabolism up? Because you're going to be eating the same portion at the same time approximately every single day. So your body knows and learns after 6 weeks approximately when the food is coming in and how much is coming in. So your body's role, as I mentioned, is to save your energy for your daily activities, and it learns and it knows what your daily activities are and also knows when the food is coming in. So when you get the food, it will not store it as fat because it knows that in 3 hours you're going to be getting more food. So it will burn that food for you, won't burn the calories for you for the activity that you're doing there, whether you're sitting at your desk and your brain is working and you need some calories for that, whether you're exercising, whether you're doing housework, whatever you're doing, your brain learns to adapt to that and knows when the calories are coming in. It counts on the calories coming in, so it will start burning it right away. So your body is going to be working, your metabolism is working, and you're burning calories every 2 to 3 hours. So this is why it's going to boost your metabolism. It's going to wake your body up as opposed to fasting. You will notice after a while that you will start getting really hungry right after your meal, which means that your body is working and you're having a higher metabolism. This means that your body is turning into a burning machine. You're going to start feeling more hungry. Sometimes you're going to start sweating a little bit more. This means that your body is working and you're burning more calories. After a while, you'll notice that your body is burning more calories compared to your own body and what you used to burn during the day. This is definitely not a myth. I found a couple of researches online that tries to prove this wrong, but I wanted to talk to you guys about these researches too in this video, just to prove to you guys that there is a difference between, the 3-meal strategy and the 6-meal strategy. A lot of people in the fitness industry are using this method. It's working by experience. So the most important thing is, to be honest with you guys, to being in caloric deficit. But for us, so having the 6 meals regularly is one of the best ways to lean out. I found a research that investigated the fat oxidation, which is basically when fat is metabolized to produce energy for you. They measured that and they compared the fat oxidation between people who had 3 meals a day versus people who had 6 meals a day. So the energy and macronutrients content of the diet were matched for both conditions, and the diets were estimated to meet the subject's energy requirements and maintain body weight stability. And then they measured the oxidation over a 24-hour period, and they didn't notice any changes. So they claim that the research proves that there is no difference between having 3 meals or 6 meals a day. Now, I beg to differ. First of all, the diets were only kept consistent for 4 days. They weren't really monitoring these people to see what they're doing at home exactly. So they were really counting on what they were reporting, which is, kind of insane with these researches that doesn't really prove anything. The fact that they thought that someone's metabolism is going to change after 2 weeks and they're going to start burning fat is actually pretty absurd. This research was done on mostly people who were lean and they weren't even overweight. Despite that, they actually kept an eye on their physical activity and their diet. As I mentioned, it's pretty impossible to have them control. This wasn't a controlled study, so you're really counting on people's word, and they're going to report to you one thing and they did something at home. So this doesn't conclude anything in my opinion. And if you're basing your opinion on these researches that the 6 meals and the 3 meals and fasting, these are myths, then you should really look into the researches and more, and look into the studies and really see how those researches were conducted before making a decision. Another point that I have that completely dismisses the research's claim is the fact that boosting metabolism means that waking up your body and burning more calories. It doesn't really necessarily mean fat oxidation or weight loss. If I'm in surplus, I could still boost my metabolism. My body might start be working harder and burning more calories. It doesn't mean that I'm dipping into my fat resource and I'm burning more fat. I would completely dismiss this strategy. It has been proven. A lot of people, as I mentioned, in the fitness industry, bodybuilding industry, they go by this rule of 6 meals and they eat the same amount with smaller portions every single day, and it works. I can bet you, if you are in caloric deficit, you are working out and you're eating healthy and you're staying in caloric deficit again for the 100th times, you will be noticing the weight loss, and you are boosting your metabolism at the same time. So you will start getting results after 6 weeks. You'll notice some results. 8 weeks, you'll notice great results. And in 16 weeks, you'll see a whole transformation. You'll become a different person. So, and that's exactly the method I use in my own weight loss and fitness transformation as well. On the other hand, intermittent fasting will slow down your metabolism. Now, it absolutely doesn't mean that you're going to not be losing weight. As I mentioned, if you're in caloric deficit and you're eating healthy, you will be losing weight no matter what diet you're on. But intermittent fasting will slow down your metabolism. Why? Because your body will get used to receiving 1 or 2 at the maximum 3 meals a day in a very short period of time. So it learns to kind of manage the energy that you get from those calories for the next day, because it knows that you will not be getting any food for a larger portion of the day next day. So it will learn to manage those smaller calories, and it will just not burn as soon as you eat. So it will wait and it will slowly, metabolize the food that you just ate. So it takes this time. Because of that, it will slow down your metabolism. It knows that food is not coming in again, in a couple of hours. It knows that you just ate and you're going to be starving for the rest of the day. So it will burn a little now, burn a little, in the next hour, burn some of it tomorrow. So your metabolism will slow down and it won't be as fast as the 6 meal strategy, right? So when I explain it like this, I hope that it's very clear for you guys to see the difference. When you're getting 6 meals a day, every 2-3 hours, you're getting food intakes, your body's like burning and it's giving you energy right away. And it's not afraid to burning all of the food right away. But if you're eating once or twice a day and you're starving for the rest of the day, your body is going to start slowing down and not gonna, metabolize all the food that you had right away. So this is the difference. Your metabolism is faster with 6 meals and a little slower with intermittent fasting. And it doesn't mean that you can't lose on both diets. You absolutely can. Let's talk about which one is more sustainable. The research that shows that people have lost pounds of fat after intermittent fasting. At some point, I did too, in my videos you guys have seen. I used intermittent fasting to get to my leanest state. I lost my last 15 pounds, as I mentioned in this video. You guys know that it didn't last long. I wonder if people who did that research really reached back to the subjects after a few years to see how they're doing. Were they able to maintain the diet? Were they experiencing weight gain or weight loss after 2 years? By doing intermittent fasting every day. So my recommendation is to only go for intermittent fasting if you have a great relationship with food, if you don't experience any food addiction, you're very comfortable with your calories, and you are very on top of your nutrition. If you're not, if you experience some kind of food addiction, if you don't have a good relationship with food, if you're not eating healthy, intermittent fasting is going to be challenging. So I don't really recommend that. And to be honest with you guys, when I was 40 pounds heavier, the idea of intermittent fasting and sticking with it was so hard for me. When I didn't have a good relationship with food and I wasn't really eating healthily, I was just actually scared of the idea of intermittent fasting. So if that's you, don't worry about it. It's very normal. And I bet that you guys can find the 6 meals a day idea a lot more appealing because you are always looking forward to eating every 2 to 3 hours, and it's such a blessing to be able to do that. And I feel like you guys will love the 6 meal strategy a lot more, even though it's healthier to be eating, as I wanted to mention that again, it's healthier to do intermittent fasting. It's healthier to go with longer breaks between food. It's the best diet that you could do for yourself. But if you're not ready, you got to take your time before you get there. With weight loss, and my experience is that it's very important that you can find a sustainable cooking and a method and a diet that you can stick with for years and years until you're ready to move on to the next phase. I recommend the 6 meal strategy. Once your weight is down and you have a better relationship with food, then you can actually start doing the intermittent fasting and give it a try and see how that works for you. So now that we talked about all the benefits of the 6 meal strategy, let's talk about some of the disadvantages that it might have. Your blood sugar is going to be consistently up and down, so that might not be the healthiest thing for you. So if you have diabetes or you have pre-diabetes, I would really recommend you talk to your doctor and exactly talk to them and find out what you should be eating during the day and what method and what strategy you're going to implement. Another disadvantage of the 6 meal is that even though you get to actually prepare your food and you don't have to make a lot of changes, you can actually cut whatever you're eating. Even if you're ordering it from outside, you're getting a bowl or you have your own lunch packed, you cut it in half. You have half of it now and half of it in 3 hours or in 3 portions, up to you. Even though you can do that, if you miss a meal or if you forget to bring your meal or you can't buy food, you might become really hungry. For example, on road trips, you might not have access to food readily, so it might be actually challenging, and you might get really hungry if you miss a meal, and on your next meal you will be overeating. So it's something that you have to keep an eye on. Meal prep really does help. If you can meal prep at home and make sure you always have food on you, it would be best for a while until you start seeing some changes. With intermittent fasting, especially if you're fasting over 18 hours, you will get lots of benefit: health, gut microbiome recovery, you will have anti-aging benefits. The most important thing that you should notice is with intermittent fasting is that it reduces your hunger hormone. So if you're a type of person that feels very hungry during the day, intermittent fasting will actually get rid of that. It will reduce your ghrelin hormones and you will not feel as hungry during the day as you did before you did intermittent fasting. I personally use intermittent fasting as a tool to lower my hunger hormones. If there's a phase of my life that I feel super hungry, if I had food outside of my home for a couple of days straight, if I had sugar and I feel super hungry the day after, I try to fast and I use intermittent fasting to lower my ghrelin hormone, and I go back to my normal eating habits. With disadvantages of intermittent fasting, your body will get adjusted, as we talked about, to lower calories and eating in a smaller portion of the day, and you will put on weight if you stop intermittent fasting. It might promote overeating like it did for me. It might not be sustainable. Now let's talk about what method is recommended for the 4 types of people that we mentioned earlier. So the first group of people I wanted to talk about are the really hungry people. These people are usually very busy individuals. They don't have time to eat during the day when they're at work. They just have a snack, or they just have a breakfast and dinner when they go home. So your body gets adjusted to this eating habit, and it doesn't send you hunger signals because it knows that you're not going to be eating while you're at work. So what is it that you could do? The idea of 6 meals scares you. So if you can actually pack your meal and take it to work, and you can't be eating while you're working, there are still some things that you could do to boost your weight loss without compromising your food. So if this is the case for you, I suggest that you pay attention to the timing of your fast to make sure you keep it between 16 or 18 hours minimum, if not longer. If you can do 20 hours, even better. If you could just have 1 meal a day, even better. If you can improve your nutrition, that's even better. So there are a lot you could do in order to lower your body fat and, better your body composition. So these are some of the things that you can watch out for. If you want to know what is best to eat in terms of, when you're fasting, what to open your fast with, what kind of nutrition to get, make sure you check out this video. I posted this video a while ago. I hope you find it useful. So for example, one thing that you would find on that video is to not to mix carbs and fat all together. Like pasta with Parmesan would be the worst thing to have for dinner if you have been fasting for so long. You want to start with something nutrition, maybe a piece of fruit, a date, some salt to open your fast, give yourself a little bit of time, and then have your meal. And if you focus on nutrition, so you have more healthier food, especially during that small, short window of eating, you want to make sure you're getting healthy food. You want to make sure you're hitting your nutrition. And this is why I'm saying intermittent fasting is usually tailored towards people who are very aware of what their nutrition is and what they're eating, to make sure that you're not lacking anything. The second group are the ones that are always hungry and snacking. If you're not having proper meals and you're having a lot of food during the day, there's a sign that you can actually change things pretty quickly, like I did. If you can actually fast and fasting doesn't scare you, make sure just fast for 4 days to get your ghrelin hormones under control. Once you've done that, you will decrease your hunger hormones and you will give your body a reset. See if you can actually remain with intermittent fasting. If you can, great. If you can't, and you feel like you're overeating when you're not fasting, make sure you go back to the 6 meals and do 6 meals a day and focus on nutrition more. So the third group are the people that are never hungry but always snacking. Well, those snacks will fill you up. What I want you to focus on is a transition into being able to go on a 6-meal diet, or maybe try intermittent fasting. Now, you're never hungry. That's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. So what I want you to do is to focus on more nutritious food. So maybe replace the snacks that you're getting. For example, I have a sugar-free recipe book that you guys can download from the description below. It is free, no strings attached. You can download it, make your snacks at home, or buy better replacement options from outside. And maybe start experimenting in the kitchen and clean out your diet before thinking about, going on a 6-meal or, maybe doing intermittent fasting. Once you've done that, once your diet is clean, once your snacks are healthy, you could actually try intermittent fasting and try to increase the time from 16 hours to 18 to 20 to 22. See if you can do that and do 1 meal a day. If that's something you can do, great. But if you get hungry, you feel like you need a change and you are getting more hungrier during the day as you're having more nutritious snacks, then I would want you to focus on 6 meals a day and try that for at least 6 to 8 weeks and see how that works for you. So the fourth group of people are the people that are not hungry, but when they eat a lot. Why are they eating a lot? It's usually because your food is too delicious. It's either fast food or made outside. It has a lot of sauces, spices, and a lot of additive to it. So I would really focus on that meal that I'm having. I would try to make it less bland as I go on. So again, don't go from having pizza and burgers to having chicken and broccoli. It will fail, as I talked about it in this video. So don't do that, but just slowly and surely just clean it up until it's more nutritious. If it's more bland and nutritious, you will probably want to eat more. So as you're wanting to eat more, see if you could actually maintain an 18 to 20 hour fasting period. If not, go back to 6 meals. And if you keep getting hungry, so you're eating less bland food, you might want to eat more. So if that's the case, try the 6 meals. But I really do recommend, since you're not getting hungry, sticking with that intermittent fasting and see if you can play with the time and get the most advantage of that. So today we explored the topic of 6 meals a day versus intermittent fasting for weight loss. It's very important to know that they both work if you're keeping an eye on your portion, if you're eating healthy and you're remaining in caloric deficit, so you can lose weight on all of them. It's important for you guys to experiment and see what works for you the best. Now, as we talked about, intermittent fasting is one of the best ways to be eating every single day, but it may not be suitable for everyone like me who has ADHD, people who have food addiction, or people who have complex relationship with food. So if that doesn't work for you, go with 6 meals a day. It helps you manage your hunger a lot better. It is my duty to remind you to choose an approach that aligns with your lifestyle and goals. Focus on nutrition and consistency mostly, because they're key. Remember, setbacks are normal. You will fall off track, but focus and stay committed to your journey. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.